Welcome to the ABQ Accent, where catalysts, innovators, and risk takers share what their accent is on their work. Like a spoken accent, we all have an inflection or emphasis on where we put our energy. Join us to learn how these folks are putting their accents to work, building their vision of the future, and how you can get involved. Hi everyone, I'm Mariah Harrison, and this is the ABQ Accent. And today I'm very happy to have Phia, or Phia Smith, with me today as my guest. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Sure, yeah. Happy Monday. Let's just ease into this day together.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got some props today. There's me. I'm part of the props thing. We've got one of our season ticket holder flags or scarves today.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we'd add a little bit of color. I could have brought all the other flags and done a background for us, but you know what?
It's a Monday. You don't need to do that.
Let's start easy.
Yeah.
I'd love to give a little bit of intro, but I want to hear you talk today.
Absolutely.
Okay. So Phia Smith, thank you again. Really, I appreciate your time today. And gearing up for the season right now is kind of where your head is at. And so we can spend some time celebrating that, educating people about what's going on with the Academy right now. First and foremost, you are currently the executive director of the Somos Unidos Foundation with the United Academy athletes, right?
Yes.
All right. So more formally, you are the heart-centered leader of the Somos Unidos Foundation. Your passion and your expertise are what push the special mission of that academy forward. Phia is an experienced nonprofit leader with a passion for exploring what sports can provide for a community on and off the field. She is proud to call Albuquerque home and is committed to supporting this community that has offered her immeasurable amounts of support. You have your Bachelor of Arts from the University of New Mexico, English and Chemistry. Awesome. So now I would love to hear, how does an English and Chem major come to be pushing this vision of the fact that it's more than just sports forward? And anything else you want to give us on background?
Absolutely. I mean, I always joke it's the head and the heart, right? The chemistry and the English of it all.
Yeah.
I went in thinking I was going to be an elementary teacher. It was my dream since probably second grade, and I had decided by then I was going to teach third grade.
Okay.
I had a shoebox of items for my classroom under the bed. I still have it to this day, so maybe one day I'll be able to use it.
Yeah.
But when I got to college and I started, I realized it wasn't the right time for me. And I'm not a spontaneous person, but I started college out east, and 2 weeks after the first year was over, I decided to move to New Mexico.
Okay, as people do.
As people do.
Yeah.
I felt like I needed to be here. I don't know why, and 5 years later, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Right? And in that move, I decided that I wanted to study something different, try a new identity, right? And I picked English and then realized I still needed a little bit of that logic brain. So I added chemistry as well. And I think it led me to that.
Are you saying English isn't logical?
I mean,
like American English?
A little
or
bit.
Literature? I believe it. It's okay. Side note.
Mm-hmm. But once I got through that, I realized now, looking back, in the moment, I had no idea what I was doing. Right. But looking back, I see that intersection of joy and health and how that can really lead me to the health-based nonprofit space. And that's where I've stayed since then.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So let's see. Let me get this right. Because I'm not going to get it right unless I read it. The Children's Miracle Network you have experience in. Mm-hmm. And prior to Somos Unidos, it was Girls on the Run. So as you're saying, the health-centered sort of agencies.
Yeah. When I moved here, I started volunteering for the Children's Hospital as a fundraiser. And it took me a good year and a half to realize that could just be my career. It didn't have to be my unpaid passion.
Right.
And once I made that decision, I got a real job with them and, fell in love with the art. My boss was fantastic. We're friends to this day. And,
nice.
And then this opportunity at Girls on the Run opened up, became their executive director in college. Yeah. I don't know who made that decision, but I'm really grateful that they trusted me. And, I was with them for several years and grew the mission, and this opened up this summer, so I'm relatively new to this role, but I'm very grateful for the opportunity.
Right. I'm excited to see you come into this role too.
Happy to be here. I mean, what an incredible community. Look at your outfit.
Yeah.
We have fans everywhere.
You have buy-in.
Yes.
You have fans everywhere. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
I also want to make the point that the prior episode of this podcast was with Sean Sheehan. And so your
my
work,
favorite guy.
Such a sweetheart. Your work in understanding what being in development can mean, I think that's part of the arc of the story is I really love that what you said is, yes, it can be a paid role, but you sort of found maybe some energy around development and what that could do, not just for you, but your larger community, and therefore the partnerships that are sort of coming out of that.
Yeah, I mean, we have partners from Sean Sheehan to, you look at Bubba's and Blake's, and there's people across the city that really amplify our work. I mean, Sean is the one that connected us, if we're being transparent here, right? And it's
secondarily, we connected.
True, we did meet last year, but it's not just about the numbers, right? It's fundraising is not a dollars game. It's a people activity. I build relationships, and if it creates support for our foundation, that's fantastic. And if it doesn't, it creates advocates. And that's really what matters in this work.
I just really like the idea that you are so open-minded to the possibilities of what those relationships can bring. And that it's not a checklist or an outcomes-based thing. It's very much a where can we go together?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we all have end goals and visions and missions, but I've found that those change when we start to work together. I think it's an oversaturated market, just like any industry. And if we're not willing to collaborate, we are going to run out of resources. And that's where you get stuck in that scarcity mindset of there's not enough money, there's not enough people, there's not enough time. But none of that is true when we're able to come together and align our missions. Yeah. I mean, we're so lucky in this industry. I think there's very, very few worlds in which you get to see the tangible fruits of your labor every single day. Like I get to go out and see our programs happening and remind myself why I do this work. Yeah. I think a lot of people are stuck just behind the scenes of their jobs. So being able to invite people into that is pretty special. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about what those tangibles are.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the brass tacks of the Academy, who gets to be involved, what are the programs, and where you're looking forward to next couple weeks, month, season.
Yeah. So the New Mexico United Academy is one of our largest programs. I see it as a pathway forward, right? I joke that I don't really want you in my program because I want you out doing something else.
Eventually.
We get you in here. Our goal is to develop you as athletes, but also as people, and then to support you in whatever's next. So we have boys going on to play at college, and last year alone, we had 11 athletes leave our program. Of those, all of them went to secondary education programs. And of those 11, 10 of them were first-gen students.
Amazing.
Which is incredible, right? We had a student who joined us who was committed to a D3 college, decided it wasn't the right fit for him, spent a year with us, and is moving on to a D1 college this year. So it's really whatever is the best path forward for the athlete.
And they might not necessarily be playing at those secondary.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. I think the majority of them are, right? Soccer is their passion, but we have boys who are now going on to work at their parents' mechanic shop or whatever it is. We just want to develop you as people. So on our staff, we have a head coach, we have a recruiter who helps bring in the athletes. We usually have about 22 rostered. We have a mental health liaison and then an academic liaison. So both of those are fundamental in supporting our athletes beyond just what we do on the fields. And you can see that in how they interact with their community. They come out and volunteer with other initiatives that the foundation is running, or we support them if they have something they're passionate about. We can bring the resources and the time to help support their growth and their progress. It's a pretty incredible program, but I'm just a tiny bit biased.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we want you to be cheerleading them.
Yeah.
And I've heard you speak very highly of your staff.
Absolutely. I mean, we have a great team who do it out of passion. It's not an easy position. It's not, something that you clock in, clock out. You're thinking about it all the time, and they really dedicate themselves to the work. So we're really lucky for that. And the academy structure is part of the USL structure. So we have programs across the country. So we're able to play, we typically stay in the Arizona, Colorado, Texas range.
Right.
And it can be tens of thousands of dollars to participate because of the travel, the level of play that they're having. And then, the other opportunities that they're getting through it.
Right.
I'm proud to share that we're the only USL Academy that's fully scholarshiped in the entire country, which is pretty incredible. So the foundation takes on the cost of the program, so the boys can just focus on their development.
Let's say it again. It is fully scholarshiped, which means every single one of those players that are 18 to 22 years old, and how many did you say are usually rostered or
22.
22?
Yeah.
Are able to go through this academy that is also prepping them for college and other life opportunities for free.
For free.
They're making timeless in their own right, relationships with their coaches and their teammates and the United community as a whole. I can't understand. I wouldn't be able to see another path forward for them other than to be some version of successful for themselves.
Absolutely.
Can you talk a little bit more about some specifics that you do to empower and support these players, keeping in mind that it's not just about sports?
Yeah, I mean, it's never been about sports.
That's what you say.
Yeah, that's what I say all the time. I mean, that's the whole club too, right? Soccer is great. I'm not going to go around and say that I ever played. I didn't. It's a fun sport to watch, but what's unique about United is the community. Yeah. When we had I hate to mention it, let's knock on wood for this year, but when you found some good, when we had our unprecedented losing streak this summer, right? It was tough to watch. And we talked about it in leadership a lot of, we still have the highest attendance in the league. And it's not because we were playing brilliant soccer. It's because we've built this community that supports us. And, you see the same with the foundation and with the boys and their pathway forward. It's pretty incredible.
But they've got the tutors. They've got, like you said, the mental and emotional support. Maybe we can just take turns and do interviews for your staff.
Right. I think, you've already hit one of them.
The coach right now, David Estrada, has been on our podcast, and it's been some time, and I know that he's if I wanted to see anybody be a coach for this particular group of people, that would be it. Like that guy's energy and cheerfulness and cheerleading is endless. So
that's our goal is a holistic approach to sports, right? And he's able to facilitate that with both his knowledge and his passion for community.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see more of the stories of this. What am I trying to say? I don't want to call them students, and they're not just athletes, but the players in your
the people
program right now.
Yeah.
They're people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Also want to say boys because they're so young compared to me, but I'm sure they're very sweet. And that's why you have the nickname of Phia. Because they see you come in and they know that you have their back.
It's my favorite title that I hold. What's great about Albuquerque and what helped me stick here is the adopted family that I've created and, I collected all my nieces and nephews and, I proudly wear the name Phia, and I hope that I put out that energy into the world.
Yeah, for sure.
And everything I do.
One of those pieces that you mentioned before was the work, your training. Let's see. Let me just tell you to tell me what this all is. What is TOPSoccer?
Absolutely. So TOPSoccer is another program of the foundation, and it's our second year of doing it. So it kicks off here in about a month. It's a 6-week all-inclusive soccer program. So it's for all abilities. Yeah. We work with Carrie Tingley, with Prism Autism Society, with the Rio Grande Down Syndrome Network. We created a program that is for students who might not often have an opportunity to be an athlete and to train with us.
Right.
So
6 weeks.
6 weeks every Sunday. Okay. We do need volunteers. So if anyone is, feeling something, you can join us as a buddy. So you get paired with an individual athlete and you support their safety and enjoyment the entire program. You could be a coach, which will have a group of 10 athletes, and we group them by ability, not by age. So we can gear each group they have a little bit different progression through the program and a little bit different curriculum. And then we provide all the training that you need. But it's really unique and it's heartwarming. We have lots of partners through it. Presbyterian Healthcare Services is our title sponsor for it. So we're grateful for them to make it possible. We work with Kramer Fields and New Mexico Youth Soccer Association.
Okay. So that's every Sunday starting in mid-March. And prior to that, people who want to volunteer can get specific training.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. What am I doing on Sundays?
I know.
We'll have to check.
I would love to have you out there. It's a lot of fun. And you don't have to be a professional athlete or an experienced coach to join us. We'll give you the tools that you need.
I'm making a note also to maybe post this volunteer opportunity on the One Albuquerque Volunteers website.
Absolutely. That would be fantastic.
Because it's coming up. Yeah. So it's not so much about the timing, but we can sort of expand that reach for you. And that's something we take joy into. So, and promoting, if you come across, whether it's through our website or not, volunteers that you think are outstanding, let's tell their story. Absolutely. I know that you've got board members and you have family members that come to support the Academy and other players. Any way that we can lift up sort of the ripple effects of the Academy work, we'd love to do.
Yeah, maybe we'll send some academy boys to come chat with you one of these mornings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see, what else am I missing about where we're at with the academy, where we're at with the season that you would like to share?
It's a great question. I mean, we all know the season is kicking off here soon with our first preseason home game this weekend, which is exciting. And, we'll be out there watching. As for the academy, we have a scrimmage tonight and games kicking off here soon.
Yeah.
They're heading to Vegas this weekend for a 3-day showcase, the Mayor's Cup, which is a great opportunity for them to, be seen and create those pathways forward, because we get kind of stuck in the Southwest, right? You don't always get coaches from all over coming into town. So being able to fundraise and create these opportunities for them is what drives our mission and our work forward.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
There's so many things. And again, like you were saying, if people aren't really into soccer, they can learn about it in this way. What is preseason? What is a home game? What is a Mayor's Cup? What is what else did you say about Vegas that it's a showcase?
Our showcase.
What does that even mean in soccer?
There's going to be coaches. There's going to be people watching our athletes to see
Okay.
if they can create opportunities for them. If they're
showcasing their talent.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun for the boys as well, right? You get to play teams that you've never met before. But it's really our agenda is to put them out in front of people and into the world so they can see what other opportunities are out there. I mean, I love New Mexico, and I love that we have a team of native New Mexicans, but we know not all of them are going to stay here.
Great. So if people wanted to go like to the scrimmage or to any other games, where would they watch here in Albuquerque?
Yeah, I mean, this weekend we're going to be playing out at the Mesa del Sol Fields. But you can always check on our social media. There's a calendar both for the first team and for the academy team of where and when every game is.
Okay. Helpful.
Yeah.
And tickets are required for academy games?
Not at all.
No.
No, just a joyful attitude and some Somos Unidos spirit.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's continuing the accessibility of the sport for people to be able to watch without the limits.
Absolutely.
Not to mention the merch that we have. I may have chosen one of my 5 scarves that I thought was pretty cool
Only
today.
5?
Yeah. Being a season ticket holder for the team has been really special to me, and it's also been special to watch the academy grow. And also for your annual gala, for example. I think, when do we have that?
It's usually in the fall.
Fall, right?
Yeah. Our last one was in September.
Okay. So if people want to get involved in supporting the academy and supporting the foundation, how can they do so besides, I don't know, volunteering?
It's a great question. I mean, for me, community advocates is number one, right? Mention us, talk about why you love the foundation and why you love New Mexico United. You don't have to love soccer to love the work that we do.
Right.
If you like beer, you'll like soccer.
Or
if
wine.
you like community, you'll like soccer, right? There's so many different ways to find your in.
Okay.
For the foundation, if you are feeling generous and want to make a donation, there's a link on our website.
Yeah.
But really just advocating for the work and showing up for events. Our academy games are high level. They're a lot of fun, and it's usually just parents who go out there. So go show your Somos Unidos pride and watch our games. Ask how you can get involved with their families. How can you support them, in moving this work forward? Come volunteer for TOPSoccer, follow us on social media to see other ends we have. We do lots of projects throughout the year. It's not just about sports for us and these two teams that we have.
Well, and low hanging fruit might be if somebody's at a game, they should visit your table.
Absolutely. And we keep it fun over there. We're selling signed jerseys typically as a little fundraiser, but also to provide more information. And this year, keep your eyes out. Our academy boys are going to be staffing the tables. So it's going to be a lot more fun than just me out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you have talked about how building this community is important, but I also want to talk about your experience or plans to continue using the United brand for good. How do you get the word out about what you're trying to accomplish?
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this before. We're really lucky to have this. It's unique for a nonprofit to have such a large built-in audience, right? And such a strong brand in a state. Our goal is to amplify that brand and to bring more truth and community and passion towards it, right? So we create opportunities like our holiday tour where we go around the state for several weeks throughout the winter and
to
offer
other schools and programs.
to other schools. We also work with nonprofits and community leaders to bring together students who might not know each other already.
Yeah.
Typically, we offer soccer clinics. A lot of times with press, we're offering vaccine clinics as well.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, but the goal is to spread New Mexico United across the entire state. I mean, most of those students out there didn't know that you had a professional soccer team in your state. So, Coach Estrada always starts it off with saying something of like, whose team is this? And they get a little confused, and you prompt it to them of, no, it's your team.
It's your team.
It's not our team, it's your team.
That's right.
And they're cheering it by the end. So it's not about creating fans, it's about creating community.
Yeah, that's incredibly memorable. Can you imagine being a kid and like receiving one of the suckers, like literally a soccer ball from one of those players?
Yeah.
The engagement that they promote one-on-one. I mean, I've only seen video and photos, but I know that, like you're saying, Coach Estrada is very much like, be a part of this, not just as a player, but as, I don't know, an identity, a piece of New Mexico.
Yeah, it's pretty joyful. We're lucky.
Yeah, and that's why we have the highest attendance, even in a rough season.
Absolutely. You
It's
nailed
always,
it.
it's a funny thing that my co-ticket holder and I always play is how many people do we think are in the stands? Like how close are we going to get to the count after the halftime call?
How close are you
I'm usually very close.
Okay.
No, yeah, totally. Although there have been days where I was like, it's like 11,000 and it was like maybe 8. But that's my
I
energy.
like your number more.
That's where, yeah.
You should do our reporting for us.
I could.
Yeah.
I could be up there. Let's see. So there are, like we said, there's volunteer opportunities, there's donor opportunities, fan opportunities to be engaged. Let's back up a little bit and ask you, why Somos Unidos Foundation for you as a leader? Why did you dip your toe into the process of asking them to consider you for leadership?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you said before this, I was the executive director of Girls on the Run, and I still love them with all of my heart. It's a nonprofit about advocating for young girls, creating opportunities through sport using social emotional learning. So I fell in love with the intersection of mental health, of physical health, and of nonprofits, and where you can use mental health, physical health to benefit people beyond just the field, right? It was never about running for that program. Our girls often hated me for having us run. I coached several of our teams, and there was a lot of skipping and a lot of rolling, but it didn't matter. It was about movement outside. And, when it was time for me to move on, this opportunity opened up, and it lit up that same part of my brain where you see you can take sport and make it so much more than that. Our programs are often around soccer because we're pretty good at soccer, and we have a lot of soccer advocates in the community now because of our brand and our shields, but there's so much more you can do with it. And so this year we're saying is all about experimentation,
Yeah.
We're a pretty young nonprofit. We've been in the community for just about 4 years. And I'm really proud of the programs we have, but we're a small team. So for being honest and transparent, we can't develop all the programs we want to develop and, make the change that we want to make alone.
Right.
So we're committed to trying new things and to supporting other partners this year to see what we can do to amplify their work as well. Because that's how nonprofits are going to thrive and really survive in 2026 in this landscape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and one of those examples is what Sean mentioned in our last episode about you and he coming together to support a local elementary school.
Yeah.
What was that about?
So we're supporting a middle school, Jefferson.
Middle school, thank you.
We're coming on board with their health fair. I mean, they have an incredible team. Katie Slota, their family liaison, I believe is her title. She's working to create this event with over 100 vendors. Those range from APD is coming out. I mean, we have a rock climbing wall out there, a hot air balloon, strange kind ballooning is coming, Pinion Coffee is coming. We have truly we're stretching
Like, I
what
can
health
go?
and safety. You
The community
sure?
should go.
It is a community event, so
Yeah.
a lot of their families and students will be out there, but it is open to the public.
Yeah.
It's all about providing information and resources. A lot of it is geared towards after-school programs coming up in the summer. We'll have physicals provided, so students who are heading into high school sports can get free physicals. There's that age when you're going from 7th to 8th grade. There's a few other vaccines that you need, so we'll have the Department of Health out there offering those as needed. Really anything. We're just there to support them from the behind the scenes. But what you're seeing right now is schools are not having enough funding, right? They are losing it for programs like family services, where they provide jackets and food, and they help parents with building resumes for parents who don't have jobs, and truly those needs that you forget about and when you live a pretty comfortable life. So Sean and I came together with this plan to use the VU funds for the quarter to reallocate for Jefferson Middle School. It's a Band-Aid, right? It's not going to create systemic change, but it is going to be a start, and we hope to do it more with other schools as well.
I love that too.
Yeah.
So when is that Madison event?
Yeah, this is going to be on March 7th at Jefferson Middle School.
Girl, you are, like you said a moment ago, you are now working constantly.
It's a lot of fun, though.
Yeah. It is fun. That's really true. And I think you're getting to be in this role that allows you those connections, but gives you the reward too.
Yeah. I mean, truly a lot of the times I'm just working with people I love and with friends. It makes the hard days so much easier. Today I'll dip out of the office early to watch the Academy scrimmage and be reminded of why we do this.
Yeah, I love that. Also, I might hang out with you and just say, wherever you're going today, I'm going to go with you.
Yeah, you should.
And
Job shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So backing up just for a second, you said the VU funds, and I want to reiterate that is the Vintage United bottles from Shein.
Yeah.
So anybody who is part of the wine club or not part of the wine club can support the foundation by buying those bottles or giving
It's a
directly.
really easy way to donate.
Yeah.
A really delicious way to donate, too.
Yeah, and they're always leveling up those bottles and their quality.
Absolutely.
So we only have a couple more minutes left. Shocking. But I wonder, you and I chatted briefly the other day, and something you said really sort of sat with me in that sometimes what you do outside of work and for yourself is that you move for joy. I know that you have a history as a runner and you still do what you can to be active. Can you tell me where that comes from, moving for joy?
Yeah. I mean, it kind of amplifies what I do at work too. It mirrors the same mission. I want to live it as well. But, you go from a high level of sport or a higher level of sport and having these goals and competitions lined up for you. And then you get injured or you graduate and work a 9 to 5 and realize it's not realistic to keep up with that level. And I really struggled with that for a while. And I have found, and I'm still finding, I'm not going to pretend that I'm perfect, but
Athletically, you're not at the Olympics this week.
No, I was busy. They tried to call me in, but I just couldn't
work out
with my schedule. But they, it's about finding joy while you're doing it. Because what's the point if you're not? For me, running is one. I have a 1-year-old dog who's insane, so it helps with that.
Yeah.
But 2, it's for those 30 minutes or 90 minutes or whatever I'm doing that day, just to be alone and outside. I get a bad rap from my friends because I run in silence. I've heard that's what crazy people do, but I enjoy it. It's the one time a day where I don't have to have my brain on and I don't have to think about anything other than where my feet are. And I think that's really powerful. And, it's been really important in my development as a person. And, it's more sustainable when you do it because you want to and because you love it and not because you have an end result in mind of your body or, how fast you're going to be or whatever. Yeah.
I think that there are like books written about every little piece of grammar that you just spoke out loud. There is something to be said about your feet touching the ground. There's something to be said about silence. There's something to be said about your brain not being on.
And then you get to combine them all, and it's brilliant. You don't have to be a runner. I mean, go on a walk.
The presence of it.
Yeah,
There's no
truly.
other time where you can just be with yourself. And that is healing. I think something that I keep coming back to is movement is therapy, and you don't know necessarily that you are actively healing yourself or promoting your ability to be present in the future just by doing those little things for yourself. And it's okay if it's in silence or not, but you're taking the moment to breathe with yourself.
Yeah. I feel
And your
lucky
dog.
to have well, that kind of changes the energy, but I do feel lucky to have a body that carries me as far as I want it to.
Right.
Yeah.
Always in the gratitude. Is there something else you might want to leave us with today about the world that we're in and the life you're trying to live and how you want other people to get connected to Phia?
To Phia. Oh boy. I mean, it's the same thing I do at work and I, talk about with my title of Tia Phia. And it's a lot of what we lost in the years of, 2020 to probably 2022 is, and you see it now, right? Connection and soft connection. And part of why I took this job is I missed being in person. You don't realize how much of a toll being alone takes on you until it does.
Yeah.
Right. So my piece of advice for people is just to talk to others,
Okay.
at a coffee shop, if everyone's willing and able, chat with someone just for a moment and see where it takes you. I think my most telling story is I went to a coffee shop with a friend one time and, am I allowed to swear on this? Sweet.
Well, we'll work on that
We'll-
later.
Okay, it'll be a soft one, but we were in line and I was chatting with the barista for a moment and my friend turns to me and she's like, damn it, Phia, they asked for your order, not your life story. And that sits with me because it's true, right? My passion is people. It always has been. It's turned into many different things, but without connection, we really don't have anything.
Thank you for that positive note. I appreciate that.
Thanks for having me today.
My pleasure. And I think I would reiterate, thank you for moving to New Mexico.
I love it. I mean, have you seen the mountains lately?
Yeah.
We're pretty lucky.
Yeah, they're not called Sandia for nothing. And the work that I look forward to helping you celebrate this good work with the Academy and otherwise.
Thank you.
Proud to have you where you are and to be a part of your community.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we hope more people come back for another ABQ Accent.